The Business Review brings you top financial news developments, influencing financial markets, international currencies, commodities, global commerce, tourism, and other economic events from around the globe.
China's first intelligent electric locomotive officially started operating in Nanjing of East China's Jiangsu province. It uses clean energy with less noise and stronger power. This electric locomotive is adapted from a used fuel locomotive. The whole vehicle is about 15 meters long and weighs 92 tons. It uses a lithium iron phosphate battery pack as a power source. It can be fully charged in 2 hours and has a maximum design speed of 60 kilometers per hour. It can travel 160 kilometers with a full load of 2,500 tons of cargo. After operation, it is expected to reduce fuel consumption by 172 tons per year. According to Yang Bu, Deputy Director of the New Energy Center of the China Electric Power Research Institute, the year's operation saves 1.4 million yuan compared with an internal combustion engine. Traditional fuel locomotives have been widely used in cargo transport, in mining areas, and steel plants.
The World Trade Organization announced Thursday that South Korea's trade minister and a Harvard-trained former Nigerian finance minister have qualified as the two finalists to become the next Director General, ensuring a woman in the top job for the first time. A selection committee said that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala of Nigeria and Yoo Myung-hee of South Korea qualified for the final round in a race expected to end in the coming weeks. They were picked out of a pool of 5 candidates. A previous round had cut the list of candidates from 8 to 5. The winner is expected to be announced no later than early November. The previous WTO Director General Roberto Azevedo of Brazil made a surprise announcement in May that he would leave the job a year early, citing personal decisions. He left without a successor on August the 31st.
The Urumqi International Land Port in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region saw its shipments increase by 20% compared to the same period last year due to the boosted freight train transport among China, Europe, and Central Asia during the COVID-19 pandemic. Loud sirens blared after one another at the port as 21 lines of China-Europe freight trains bound for more than 25 cities in nearly 20 countries were waiting for departure. Zhu Kei, a deputy general manager of the Xinjiang International Landport Group, had to make his best arrangement for the more than 200 types of goods, from daily provisions and clothing to machinery and building materials, which will be sent by these trains. The deputy general manager believes Urumqi Land Port is unlikely to slow down anytime soon, and that the port would continue to deliver Xinjiang's products to the world after the pandemic.
Britain's Duke of Cambridge, Prince William, launched a multi-million-pound global prize aimed at solving the world's environmental problems on Thursday, October the 8th, opening nominations on November the 1st ahead of an awards ceremony next year. The project, called the Earthshot Prize, will award 5 £1 million prizes each year for the next 10 years under the categories of protecting and restoring nature, cleaner air, oceans, waste reduction, and climate change. Prince William will award the first set of prizes in London next autumn, as he said that a decade of change was needed to start the process of repairing the planet. The British royal family have for many years been vocal campaigners on a host of environmental issues, with Prince William's father, Prince Charles, speaking out for decades about the impact of climate change and the importance of conversation. The Earthshot Prize Council will be set up to decide on the winners, with its members set to include names from the environmental, philanthropic, business, sporting, and entertainment worlds.
Prime Minister of the United Kingdom Boris Johnson promised on Tuesday, October 6th, to transform Britain rather than settle for the status quo after the coronavirus crisis by building more new homes, improving education, and boosting the green economy. A £160 million investment in ports and factories is part of a drive to quadruple Britain's offshore wind capacity to 40 gigawatts by 2030, around half of Britain's electricity capacity now from all sources. He also promised to build more homes and make them more accessible to younger people and to improve education.
The Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said on Wednesday, October the 7th, that Spain will increase state investment spending by 27 billion euros in 2021 thanks to emergency European Union funds for recovery from the pandemic. The minister added that during an address on economic plans that between 2021 and 2023, the government will spend 72 billion euros from the EU funds and an additional 800,000 jobs will be created. Spain is due to receive 140 billion euros until 2026 from the EU fund, 77 billion in grants and the rest in loans. On Tuesday, Spain forecast a worse than feared economic contraction this year of 11.2%, but said there would be a rebound in 2021 with growth of 7.2%. According to the Economy Ministry, with the European funds finally dispersed, the economy could grow more, as much as 9.8% next year. Sanchez outlined 10 areas of investment, from transforming cities to boosting gender equality, and said 37% of the funds would go to the green economy and 33% to digital transition. Another, at least 12%, will go to specific environmental projects.
China's foreign exchange reserves stood at $31.426 trillion by the end of September this year, according to data released by the State Administration of Foreign Exchange, or SAFE, on Wednesday. SAFE authorities said that the country's foreign exchange market registered a basic balance between supply and demand in September, and cross-border capital flows were generally stable. SAFE authorities also said that at present, the COVID-19 pandemic is still raging overseas, and the global economic situation remains complicated and gloomy, with instabilities and uncertainties on the rise. Wang Changying, spokesperson for the State Administration of Foreign Exchange, said that despite the complex and severe situation of the pandemic overseas, China's fundamentals of stable and long-term economic growth have not changed as the country has entered a stage of high-quality development.
This brings us to the end of this episode of the Business Review. We hope to see you again tomorrow with news of stock markets, economic conferences, commodities, currencies, regional and international financial news, and much more.